इतना सफर है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन ही नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
Thank you so much, Dheeraj, for playing the corporate video Franchise India that truly depicts the kind of vision and passion we follow every day. We attempt to create new initiatives for each one of you. Franchise India is Asia's largest integrated franchise solution company since 1999, and we have absolute authority on franchising, licensing, and retailing. Through our dynamic media and service platform, we have catered to investors across all industries and categories like F&B, education, retail, fashion, health, etc. And we completely focus on franchise ecosystem. We truly believe in perfect partnership between brands and investors. With great hope that everybody is safe and healthy, we warm welcome to each and every attendee who has joined us today to this webinar. This is our 191st edition. We do not endorse any brand. It's just a representation of the brand from our side. We welcome management team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Maria, along with our second panel member, Ms. Sonia Chaudhary. The brand which we are presenting you today represents wellness and beauty products. It's a leading beauty brand. Started in 2014, Color Bar is a well-known name in the market. They are third largest cosmetic brand in India with 100 plus exclusive stores across 40 cities. And their mission is to develop the world-class skincare and color cosmetic products. And it's our privilege to welcome and invite team of Color Bar to talk about their franchise model. We welcome Ms. Kanika Gupta. She is a retail head. Mr. Pankaj Khaneja, who is a finance head, along with Tushar. Tushar heads the BD part for them, and Anil Rawat, regional manager for North and East. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today. Kanika, over to you for your business model. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Archana, for such a lovely introduction. And first of all, good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone is well and safe. Would like to thank Mr. Maria, Sonia, and Archana for having us on the Franchisee India platform today to launch our Color Bar franchisee model. Let me take you through the presentation. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Kanika, thank you so much.
Great. So Archana has already introduced Tushar. He's our business development manager who's on the panel with me today. This will be the agenda, the brand session, the launch for the franchisee model, and Q&A round in the end. So to take you through Calabar, Calabar was launched in 2004 and is one of the leading makeup and beauty brands with makeup, skin, face, eye, lip, and accessories. Post COVID, we have also launched an essential range which includes shower gels, hand gel, moisturizer, and so on and so forth. Calabar is the third largest cosmetic brand in India, and we are recognized for our innovation, excellent quality, international formulation, and world-class packaging. Calabar, the team makes sure that they source the best and the most well-formulated products from across the globe and bring the best to the consumer at an affordable price. Our logo, very recently, 2 years back, the brand went through a complete renaissance where we changed our brand logo. If you look at it very carefully, you will see the insignia, which is an infinity sign with a heart in the end, which represents the brand strength, the limitless choice of color, and infinite love for their consumer. This is our global brand ambassador, Jacqueline Fernandez, a very, very big and a known name in the Bollywood world. She's fierce, sophisticated, embraces her uniqueness and joy, and embraces all the qualities that Calabar stands for, which is quirkiness, vibrancy, energy, and fashion. Let me take you through a quick brand video that we've shot with her recently. So this is the kind of content that we generate with our brand ambassador. This is the content which we play in our stores, on YouTube, and other social media platforms, so to say. Our brand vision and mission is to touch every woman with color and makeup and realize her beauty. Mr. Modi, the founder of the company, he has a dream that every woman in India should have at least one product of Calabar in their purse. And we should be able to fulfill her need at least with one product minimum of our brand. The mission of the brand is to develop and market world-class skincare products and color cosmetic products with exceptional value. As I shared before, the team travels to the best makeup fairs across the world, like Cosmoprof Bologna, Beauty Paris, etc. And the idea is to bring the same products which are available in luxury brands and to bring them at an affordable price for our consumer. We like to deliver a unique experience for the consumer. And that is why we were amongst the first brands in the country back in 2009 to have our own store, so that the consumer could actually experience the product. And it was not just about swatching a product on a hand, but actually touching and feeling the product and experiencing the entire gamut. We want to be regarded not only as a choice for the consumer, but also for experts. We should be a part of their makeup kit and their choice of product. Visionary.
Kanika, I'll just bother you here. I think your PPT is blurred, so you want me to share my screen?
It's not visible?
It's visible, but it's somehow blurred. So you want me?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
over to you.
Sure. So our visionary founder, Mr. Modi, he is a very, very passionate about makeup. In fact, he's someone who would have more knowledge about makeup than 10 women in a room. So how Calabar was born was when in 2004, when he used to travel around, he noticed that women had a common problem, and which was that they could not find the best shades in India or the best formulation, or something was missing. And that's how Calabar was born. And he had a dream that he wanted to make sure that women were satisfied with what they were using, with the colors of their choice and the formulations of their choice. And that's what the brand endeavor is, to make sure that the brand would have a vast range of colors which would perform better than the best brands in the world. Next slide, Archana. Our footprint, I think we have one of the most diversified footprints, if you could say. We have approximately 500 modern trade counters across Shoppers Stop, Lifestyle, Dabur, New You, etc. We have 1,100 GT outlets, general trade, mom and pop stores across 200 cities. Our own website and third-party e-commerce like Nykaa, Amazon, etc. Institutional sales and 100 plus exclusive brand stores across 40 cities. We have a very varied product category, which is face, eye, lips, nails, skin, and accessories. And now, as I mentioned, post-COVID, we also got into the beauty essential range, which is, your shower gels and moisturizer and hand gels, hand creams, and so on. We have the widest nail palette that we could, which is of 1,001 nail paints. I think it is the widest palette in the country. What we noticed is that a woman is never satisfied with the color that she wants. For a man, a red is a red, a pink is a pink. But for a woman, that right shade and tone of color that she requires, she will not settle for anything less. In fact, we notice that when people come to the stores, they actually carry their garments to match their nail polish color with a garment. So to actually kind of focus on that particular need of the customer, we actually came up with 1,001 nail paints, which is the largest in the country and maybe the world as well. We also have a very, very large palette in lip category, and beauty tools like makeup brushes, which are which can be used by makeup artists, which are natural hair brushes, and other tools like sponges and cotton. So we have really gone down to make sure that we are a one-stop shop when it comes to beauty. Along with giving the product and formulation of the customer's choice, we ensure that the brand promises clean beauty. The products and the ingredients are safe to use for the consumer. And across our categories, you would notice that we have products which are paraben-free, dermatologically tested, 100% vegetarian. We have our nail formula is a 7-free formula, which is paraben-free, toluene-free, formaldehyde-free. So the brand ensures that we are ethical, and we make sure that our ingredients are absolutely safe for the consumer, and and the consumer is not compromised at any level. These are some of our PR coverages. The brand is covered in the top fashion magazines of the country, call it Elle, Grazia, Cosmopolitan, and you'll notice that the coverage that we get for our products also are benchmarked against the best top luxury brands in the world. So you'll notice a Calabar lipstick with a picture of a Estee Lauder lipstick right next to it. So the brand is very well perceived by the consumer. We also keep doing these activations and something new and innovative to keep the excitement on of the consumer. Calabar lately bagged 2 Guinness Book of World Records, where one record was with the maximum number of customers getting their nails filed and varnished in an hour's time, and the other was the largest nail polish mosaic ever. So I think the brand has its own quirky ways of keeping the interest of their consumers on, and keep doing something different to cut the clutter. Now to take you through our franchisee model. So if you partner with us, what you get is to be your own boss, premium products at a great price, world-class international formulated products which are PETA certified, a full suite of our e-commerce and social media tools, and along with that, a backing of 2,000 plus retail counters. Some of the perks of associating with Colorbar. Just post-COVID, we had launched this Rappel, which is a learning management system. This was launched for the BAs that they could be updated on all the products which were launched and can take tests and score themselves on it as well. So there's a constant upgrading of the BA with knowledge and content across customer service, product, sanitization, makeup application. All the topics are covered on this platform for the BA to self-learn and understand. As you know, during COVID times, we have not been able to do much of offline trainings. So this is a great platform which will also be extended to the beauty advisors of our franchisee partners. We also started e-billing for consumers who are not comfortable with carrying a paper bill. We have a strong CRM program, which will also be extended to our franchisee stores. We have one of the most rewarding loyalty programs with a minimum of 10% reward on every sales. I think this is very rare to find where you give 10% on almost every bill. And we have over 5 lakh consumer base on our loyalty platform. We also have a NPS survey to understand where we stand in the minds of the customer, whether they are happy with the service or not. And this survey is actually quite dynamic, and we keep changing the format of the questionnaire from time to time, ensuring that we meet the need of the hour, the concern at that particular point, which is a concern for the brand at that point in time. We also have a strong IT support to access and analyze business reports, which would help the franchisee to understand where the business lies and where there is scope of improvement and take corrective actions. We also have a centralized music and LED content support, which is played from central head office. And wherever we have screens, that content is played uniformly across all stores. So there is consistency from one store or one kiosk or one city to the other city that is maintained. This is the new look. So as I shared that we had recently changed our brand logo. This was done by one of the leading design agencies in Paris, who also do work for brands like Cartier and Hermes. We also innovated our store design, and this store that you see is the new design, which was done by the designers in Paris. This is our store of 200 square feet in Jamshedpur. And this is how our kiosk look. One interesting thing is whether it is store or kiosk, we are able to display all the products, about 1,700 SKUs across both our stores or kiosks. All our kiosks have the same number of SKUs, barring a few nail polishes. Of course, 1,001 nail polishes are a bit difficult to display in a 8x8 or a 10x10 counter. So barring the nail polishes, every SKU is found across all outlets of Colorbar. The profile of the consumer, a profile of the Colorbar franchisee that we are looking for is someone who is energetic, passionate for makeup, and has a customer orientation and eye for detail. Retail is all about detail, and anybody who has the passion to succeed is the right fit as a franchisee partner. Of course, a good location is very, very important. We've noticed with our past experience that in the same mall, two locations can give very different results. So a good location is definitely a must. And of course, the financial capability. In my opinion, if you have a good location, the rent is viable, and the mall has good footfalls, you have a sure shot of winning formula. This would be the steps for our franchisee appointment, generating leads through digital and referrals, following up with the lead through telephone, meeting, mail, however, however, whatever is comfortable for both parties, sending the application forms through link portals, evaluating the candidate profile, managing interaction with the franchisee and negotiations, finally issuing the LOI and signing the LOI and collecting the LOI from party and collection of sign-up fee, and of course the project planning post that. So here are the commercial terms for the FOFO model. The model that we are proposing is FOFO, which is franchisee owned, franchisee operated. There would be a brand fee of 5 lakhs, which is non-refundable. The size of the kiosk that we are proposing is 8 by 8 or 10 by 10. And that is the standard size. And ideally, a store size could be anywhere between 200 to 500 square feet. The capex for making the store would be around 10 to 12 lakhs for a kiosk, whereas 15 to 20 in case of a store. OPEX will be taken care by the franchisee, which would include your rent, CAM, electricity, BA salary, etc. The margin that we are proposing right now is 42%, plus a 2% cash discount and a 1 to 5% variable margin based on performance. So if the quarter target of buy-in is met by our partners, there would be on 100%, there would be a 1% additional margin given. And going up to 150% target achievement, one can actually even get a 5% incentive as margin. The testers will be provided. We feel testers are a very important support that the brand can give. The entire product tester for the first time launch will be given by the brand. And all new launches that come during the year will also be supported with the complete tester for one time. Colorbar constantly keeps launching products. In fact, every month there is a launch of at least 1 to 3 products. So there's constant innovation, constant new product that keep coming in. So the complete support for the same will be given. The stock levels that needs to be bought in for the first time will be minimum 2 months stock that needs to be kept at the store at any given point of time. The value at a kiosk would be approximately 15 lakhs, whereas for stores, the value would go up a little higher to about 15 to 18 lakhs minimum stock requirements. Our payment terms would be 1 month credit period. However, as I mentioned in the previous slide, if the payments are done upfront, then there is an additional 2% cash discount. Our stock return policy would be a stock correction will be allowed after first 6 months, because we feel that after 6 months, the partners would have enough experience of what is selling, what is not selling. And so after 6 months, we could correct our stock levels. And from 6 to 12 months, we would allow, at the end of 12 months, we would allow 5% replacement of stock so that the stock corrections could happen. Post 1 year, we would allow a 3% replacement of stock. From my own experience, I've been here from the first store to the 100th, and my own experience says that usually in a year when we send stocks to the store, we don't need to replace more than 1 to 1.5%. However, we've doubled the percentage here just for the ease of our partners and to ensure that there is no issue at all at their end with respect to stock returns. Stock shortages, of course, would be borne by the franchisee if they are operating the stores. Other supports which will be provided is a complete operational support. We would like to handhold our franchisees right from the beginning and make sure that a complete support is given during the setup. We will be providing manuals for store operations and reporting formats that we follow in our own stores, so that there is hygiene from the very beginning of the store operations, even for the franchisees. BA hiring support will be given. We will help in scanning the best talent, so that you have the best BA at the counter who can generate business. Um, any kind of in transit and manufacturing defects will be replaced by the brand. Of course, there will be protocols that need to be followed, which is a minimum 24 hours to inform and let us know, so that we can replace the stocks. There will be IT software training, which will be provided by the brand. There will be an online training, so that the BAs know how exactly to manage the systems, order, etc., so that there is seamless operations from the store level. In terms of marketing, there a lot of times new products come with DSUs. These are these display units, attractive display units, which come along with products. And in stores, we have these designated areas where new launches are put in. Every time a consumer comes in, they're like, "What's new?" Because they say in a cosmetic world, usually a consumer is back to a store in a month and a half, and the first question they ask is, "What's new?" So there's literally a "What's new" counter. So these new DSUs are given by the brand. And sometimes instead of giving a DSU, we give these replaceable trays, which is the model of our store fit out, that there are these acrylic trays with slots which are sent to the stores, which will be provided by the brand to place the new products with the rest of the products. Visual changes will be provided by the brand as and when we keep, doing our shoots, and we have visual content that is replaced by the brand at the store level. There will be discount offers which will be provided by the brand. In Calabar, I think there's not a single day that we don't have an offer. From time to time, we have different offers. On a monthly basis, we have slab-wise offers which are running all the time. We have red dot sales products which are close to 1 month a validity. So we make sure that these are liquidated, and we provide 30 to 50% off on those products. So all of that will be extended to our partners, and these offers will be borne by the brand. Trainings will be done, as I said before, on products, sanitization, grooming, makeup application, etc. We will be providing both soft and hard copy and product manuals to refer to at any given point of time. There will be access to our learning management system, as I said, Rappel, which will be provided to all BAs. If they have a smartphone, they will have the access to this application. Next. So the product launches are, so, when we are having our product launches, each product launch of ours is also backed by some social media interactions by the best and the most known media influencers, like some of the media influencers that we've been using in the past are Shan, Guru, Gurmeet Chopra, and Anubhav Thakur. These are some very big names in the industry that are, rocking the social media world. And we keep doing these kind of, blogger reach outs to our consumers. And this kind of creates excitement towards the product. And of course, the stores and all retail touch points benefit from these kind of interactions that are done by the brand. Some of the store launch support will be SMS to the city's loyalty base, in-store visual assets with brand ambassador and product KVs. In fact, as we speak this weekend, we are shooting again with Jacqueline, and there will be a whole new lot of content that we will have for the next 6 months. There are focused product DSUs, like I mentioned before. There'll be in-store support elements like offer tent cards, easel stands, PR Speak. PR Speak is usually, the products which are, which are picked up by magazines and are, kind of endorsed by the magazines. So those kind of visual content is also displayed at this store. In case of mall openings, the support that we ask from the mall is also an SMS and emailers to the mall's database. In fact, a lot of times malls also have their own pages, Facebook pages and Insta pages, where we place our brand launch, posts, so that their consumer base gets to know about the same. Within the mall also, if there is any visual support that the mall is extending, we are happy to provide with easels and visuals to be placed within the mall. In terms of the online support, we do dark post targeting the nearby consumer, which looks consumer lookalike for Calabar, for announcing our store openings. So this reaches almost about 15 to 20,000 customer base, and sometimes what we do is we even put an offer, along with these dark posts, where the consumer just needs to take a picture of the offer and show the screenshot at the spot to avail the offer. So there is a call to action with these posts, and this way we can also calculate the redemption that happens with these initiatives that we take to boost the sales and to announce any new store that has come up. There will also be listing on our Calabar website of any new location that we open on our own or through franchisees. So you will get the listing on the Calabar website as well. So I think that's it from my side. If there are any questions, we're happy to answer.
Thank you, Kanika. Great presentation, and I think we've seen the journey of Calabar and how I think this has grown, and especially for your contribution as you've been part of the first store to the 100 stores, and now going forward building a much larger chain. It's also backed by a very strong group, and also knowing Sameer ji personally, I think the kind of detailing he's done for his businesses speaks a lot about how the Calabar has come in. It's more driven from very strong detailing and a great product to be done. So let me start with a few questions, which is very important for our viewers to know, because now you're going into much smaller markets, going into B and C cities, and even beyond that, and a great amount of penetration already happened. So you're in a perfect situation to really describe what is a growth path for the industry for next 5 to 10 years. Because as an investor, as a franchisee, when you invest into a category, you need to really think through that what is next 5 years going to look like. Is this industry going to grow? What is the growth like? And why? And one is the growth in the industry. Second is how Calabar is positioned to take that growth even higher. That you will be able to take the maximum market share of that growth coming in. While in India, consumption is obviously, we know that numbers always speak high, but how you are ready I think, which would also then mean we talk about a little bit of competition landscape and see how you are positioned to really not only cope up with the competition, but go ahead of the competition.
So, lately, I think the past 1 or 2 years, we have been foraying into tier 2 and tier 3 markets, and we see that the performance is exceptional. In fact, sometimes we notice that the tier 2, tier 3 markets are doing as much sale that a metro store is doing. So the numbers have been very astonishing, I would say, because, when you're entering these markets, you don't know what it will really bring on the table, but it has been very, very encouraging. So I think what our landscape would look at, I think in the next, we're still just in 40 cities when it comes to our own stores. So our GT counters are in 200 cities. So I think the landscape is really, really large in front of us right now. There's lots to cover. So I think, we don't have any specific city, so to say, that I would like to mention that, I'd like to only start from a particular city. Wherever there's opportunity, wherever there are malls. In fact, what I notice is the next 2 years, at least, pre-COVID, there was an article I read which had almost another 100 to 200 malls were coming up in the country. So I think there is a lot of opportunity out there. We are also not so much in high streets yet. So there are a lot of good high streets in the, in the country as well, where we would like to open. So I think there's enough, I think, landscape out there to still explore and open into. In terms of competition.
And how do you position yourself with every brand which is available in the market? Especially, let's take an example of Lakme or any other player like that. Where is the opportunity for you to really be?
So, I feel that a Lakme, Maybelline, L'Oreal, they are not exactly our direct competition when I look at our own stores and where we are trying to go at this point, because these brands don't have their own stores. And while theirs is a real mass distribution, I think Color Bar has been very, very choosy of where they've opened it. Even in our modern trade, all our counters are mostly manned counters. And we've been very, very careful with the kind of distribution that we are doing. So I would not really say that Lakme and L'Oreal would be our direct competition, but because they don't have this one channel that we have, which I don't think that these brands are getting into, at least at this point of time. Gaurav, I think your screen is frozen.
This business is very good because I like this business because it has a.
I can't hear you.
Now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so what I like about the business is that it has a lot of subscription business. A lot of repeat customers come in.
Yeah.
So how is your mix of customers in terms of your new customers, and also how many people it would repeat, and what is the frequency of buying cycle?
So the frequency of buying cycle is a customer usually comes back in 45 days to 2 months is when the customer is coming back. Right now is slower because, I think right now what has happened is post-COVID that we noticed that the ABVs have gone up, the ticket sizes have gone up because probably the consumer is moving a little less. And so surprisingly, the average bill value has gone up and the customer is frequenting less. But if you ask about new customer, we almost have 50% new consumer month on month. Gaurav, I think your screen is frozen again.
I think we've lost, and thanks Kanika for this presentation. And while we wait for Gaurav to join, I'd like to maybe pick certain questions from the audience. And thanks for this very elaborate and very comprehensive presentation.
Thank you.
And I also feel, today there's an increasing premium on personal grooming, and we also see a lot of changes in the consumption patterns across the country. And the last 16 years for you have been a great phenomena. And what I'm seeing is with the great footprint that you have in 100 odd stores, MBOs, about 1200 plus MBOs and LFRs all across. Now, Kanika, I'd like to take one question because you're there all across, including the traditional stores, exclusive outlets. One question which I'm seeing coming from one of our audience is, because a lot of discounts would be offered by these stores operating outside exclusive stores, including online. Nykaa, they also offer a lot of discounts. And would that affect the sales of an outlet? And are these discounts which are offered synchronized across all your distribution channels?
So mostly the offers in our modern trade and exclusive stores, where we are literally placed right next to each other, are mostly mapped, and we make sure that they are the same. Sometimes GT counters, they do not directly really interfere with the store business. So at times, because of the margins and what the business can afford, they have differential offers as well. But primarily, the main core offers are mostly the same across all channels. Of course, online is the offers are a little different at times. But primarily, the brand has been very conscious about it because there's a constant push and pull that is happening from all distribution channels who are trying to prove and trying to, everybody has their targets. So there's a constant tussle between, different distribution channels. But we try to maintain a healthy, balance and make sure that we do not compromise one channel for the other. There's also some extra benefits that a consumer gets when they go to an exclusive store. So for instance, we have a loyalty program, which is absolutely exclusive to the brand outlets, which is not there, in modern trade, etc. There's also some bespoke services. So I think we are the only ones in the country today who have bespoke services like an engraving machine where you can actually engrave the name of the consumer or a little message on certain products. So these are done by some of our flagship stores. We have one in every city, the main cities like Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore. And so there are some exciting things that, the stores are are doing, which the other distribution channels do not have. Also, we have a bespoke service like make your own lipstick in our Khan Market store and Promenade, where the consumer can choose from 1,000 shades and she can actually pick her own shade and literally get Mera Wala pink, shade that she might want to look for. So there are some very cutting edge things that we are doing from our own brand stores, which also constantly keep creating excitement for the consumer.
Okay. I'll give back to Gaurav. I think we've lost in between.
That's a cycle of consumer behavior moving from what I call unorganized to organized, organized to specialized, and now what you're doing is moving from a specialized to personalized. So that is the next life cycle of business. So I'll take one question. I think my internet is not that stable, but I'll take one question and then Ravi give it to Sonia. Because you've done business everywhere now in the country with 40 odd locations, what would be a couple of locations which would come to you absolutely missing point, which means that if we were there, we would be best doing that, or the markets which have responded to you the best and you need bigger clusters to come in? Some of the cities where you feel that you're a topmost dominant brand performing and you need more stores to come in. So because we have our consultants all over India, we have about 78 cities, and we would be able to really focus on that and say, let's go on these cities because we have a very immediate market. That's one. And some markets where you feel that you want to open up because you've not gone there and the market is wide open and you want to really look at it. So any cities come in your mind or any locations come in your mind?
So I think East is one that we really want to explore because we've seen some good traction in the business in the East. Our presence of our own stores in Calcutta is also very, very low. So I think we would like to open, a lot of counters in that market. Some of the new cities that we are not there yet, but would like to open is Vizag. I hear that there's a lot of potential in this area as well. So overall, I think while we are not very, sorry, Odisha.
Yeah, I'm saying Vizag is a very good city.
Yeah. So while we are not very choosy right now on where it would be, the entire country is the platform out there for us to reach out to. But yeah, these are some cities of interest that we would like to be.
Sure. And Sonia, you want to take the questions?
I can't hear you, Sonia. Sonia, you're mute.
Sorry. Okay, I'll start with, the most important is, understanding the unit economics. We've talked about two formats. One is kiosk, which is a smaller format, and the other is a small store, 200 square feet. Typical is unit economics as far as the revenue or the sale throughput, if I may say. Typically, what stock rotation can we expect in these formats? What is idle rental one should be paying? Typical manpower cost kya hoti hai aapki? And what average margins or net margins are left end of the day with the franchisee or at the outlet?
So the net margins which are left, I think, would be around 14 to 15%. That is the kind of money a franchisee can make end of the month, in the end of the year, in the first year, I would say. And from the second year onwards, it could go up to almost 20%. The rentals, I think, should be anywhere between 12 to 15%. In a tier 2, tier 3 city, getting a 40,000-50,000 rental is quite possible. And a store doing 3.5 lakhs would make money for the franchisee. So I think our manpower cost depends. Manpower cost in metros is higher than manpower cost in tier 3. In a metro store, we would spend between 70 to 90,000, whereas in a tier 2, tier 3, you would be able to manage, even at a 50,000, you will be able to manage between 50 to 60,000. You will be able to hire manpower for the stores. So in terms of revenue, I think it's a little strange that whether it's a kiosk or a store, the revenue could be very similar. So it depends on what the location is, what mall it is, what is the category of mall, whether it is an A, B, or C. Based on that, the revenues would differ from location to location.
Okay, and how does the discounts work out? The entire discounts or promotions which are done by the company, all that is taken care by you, or the franchisee is also expected to contribute some bit out
No.
of it?
So the offers will be backed by the company completely. However, if a franchisee wants to do some activation, those costs will have to be borne by the franchisee, and that can be taken up on case-to-case basis, where if the brand can fund in or whatever. So we can look at that. But yes, as far as the offers are concerned, that will be backed by the brand.
Okay. And how long does it take, Kanika, because you've been running all these stores for years and 100 stores. Based on that, typical, what is ideal gestation time? And when I talk about gestation time, it also would maybe reflect upon the working capital ideally a franchisee should have. And how long do you think it would take for him to at least start breaking even or cover his operating expenses?
So I think to start a franchisee store, the capital that one is looking for is about 20 to 25 lakhs. Where if you notice, there is a capex of about 10 to 12 lakhs. If it's a kiosk, then there will be stock, and there'll be stock costs, etc. So about 20 to 25 lakhs is what one would need. The ROI typically could be anywhere between 18 to 20 months. While operationally, you start, you're EBITDA positive from the very first or second month. If the mall is operational, if it's not a new mall, then you can be EBITDA positive from the very first month. I think the key is to get the right rental, because I think what my experience has been. Calabar has been a profitable store, an EBO model. We are self-funded. And if the rentals are proportionate, there is no way that the brand would fail. It's a popular brand. It is well received. It is only, I think our challenge is usually when the malls have footfall issues or the rentals are disproportionate at times. That is the only time which is, a bit of a challenge. Otherwise, I don't think there's any issue with respect to sales and revenue generation for the brand at all.
Okay. All right. Now, would you want to talk about typical price points that we have across your categories, and what ideally would be an APC for a customer? How much would that be, the average ticket price per person?
So the average ticket price is So the average ticket price is anywhere between 1,300 to 1,500 from both store and kiosk. It doesn't matter if it's a metro city or a tier 2. Of course, north and west are a little higher on their ABVs versus south or east. But yeah, that is our average ticket size. Typically, our ASP is about 500, 550, which is our average selling price of a product. So yeah.
So what is the product, Kanika? Because you have a lot of categories. Isme ideal product mix aap kya hota hai? What you sell more, and is 42 a flat margin across all your categories and range?
Yes. There'll be a flat margin.
And isme ideal revenue mix kya across your categories? Which are the products which would sell more?
So you're asking pre-COVID or post-COVID? So if you ask me, pre-COVID, lip was our highest grossing category. So lip and eye is the highest category crossing for us. But post-COVID, we noticed that the eye and face has really gone up. And of course, the skincare, there's huge focus on skincare. I think the world is just right now focusing on their skin. Mostly they're doing Zoom meetings like us. So they just want their skin to look good and a little bit of makeup here. Otherwise, your lips are primarily everyone's wearing mask all the time. So the lip has gone a little low. Otherwise, lip was the highest growth category before COVID was there.
Okay, Kanika, because you're already running about 100 plus equity stores yourself, is there an option for somebody to even take that over? And when we talk that it's a build, operate, transfer, you've been operating this for some time. Are these all stores? Can we discuss maybe a beauty for these stores with maybe some prospects? Is that an option for people to be considered for?
Yes, there will be some. There would be, I think, about 8-10 locations, which we would not mind as a transfer. But I don't have the list right now with me, but yes, we can discuss that offline and take up those locations and see, if we find
some locations where you would have got a good offer from a mall, because all the time malls are coming to you, which you would have, like there are new malls coming in. Lucknow got a very beautiful new mall. A lot of other new malls to be delivered. There is a Bombay 3 grade is being delivered. So you must have some locations coming up which are offered to you. Would you like to share that also?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We're absolutely open to the new locations which we are already considering to be given to a franchisee. I don't think that's an issue at all.
So this is also a very big feedback. So all the audience, if you are interested in a particular location, I think Color Bar team and also Franchise India, we are associated with most of the malls. So we will be able to help you with the right location also, while the negotiation has to be done hard to see that you get a right rental, and then the business is very good.
Yes, absolutely. We're open to that. Yeah.
I'll take some questions, Kanika. I've tried and covered some questions from the audience. So we have Rashi. She wants to know what is the radius given to a franchisee to operate within, as in, exclusivity if we give them to protect their territory. So do we commit anything on the radius to them?
To be honest, it's very new right now. We're still just exploring this route. So I think if the franchisee wants to take the entire city, if that can be an option. We're not committing to it right now, but if a franchisee wants to pick up 4 to 5 locations in a particular city, I think we would be open to that. Yeah.
So so multi-unit franchises also something which can be made as a opportunity for people to look at, because you have then locations which are doing well. There's already a potential, and then you also have emerging locations one can perhaps open. So I'll repeat the question, Kanika. What she wanted to know, if you open an outlet, for example, I take an outlet in say one of the malls or one of the high streets, within how many kilometers would the next outlet not come? Is there some kind of protection that we give and give them some security on that?
Honestly, this has never come up, but I would say we are in a mall where we have 2 locations in the same mall. So of course, we'll not give the 2 locations in the same mall to a franchisee and to another franchisee.
So Sonia, I'll just add on one point to it. So for example, Gaurav just said there's a mall coming up in Lucknow, which is Phoenix is already operational and Lulu is the other mall. So that's hardly in the distance of 4 to 5 kilometers. And there's nothing like this that any new partner coming in the association, that there'll be exclusivity. What we'll say that in the 3 kilometer radius we can't open any other store. But yes, as Kanika said, we are interested to have any franchisee, any partner who want to open as many stores as possible in any city across country.
Sure. So mall, I think keeping that aside, because mall can be an exception, because you have a lot of these malls are very close to each other, and every mall has their own captive audience. But when we come outside the malls, what kind of radius, even your existing stores, how much typical radius would you keep?
So as of now, see, the cosmetic is, it's not a convenience business that you have to have a fixed radius, number one. Number two, obviously, when we look at the location, any location, any good location, let's say in Delhi, if we are in Connaught Place, we are not present, we can open in Connaught Place. Karol Bagh is very close to Connaught Place, which is just 3-4 kilometers. We can look at Karol Bagh too. But in a city like Lucknow, or maybe in a city like Bilaspur, Raipur, there are smaller towns and the radius should be, अगर आप 5 किलोमीटर के अंदर एक दुकान खोल सकते हो तो we'll open one store only. So
the idea is not to the idea is not to eat up into the franchisee sale. The idea is that they, we make sure that they get the sales and the economies of scale are there, and we don't want to cannibalize by having another franchisee opening in very close vicinity. So I think we will be conscious of that. If you're asking for a exact kilometer radius, maybe we don't have that planned out right now. But I think at the back of the mind, there is consciousness that we have to make sure that it has to make business sense. Otherwise,
and we would not want anybody to bleed any of the partner.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we don't want them to open and shut, right? That is not the point. So one is completely going to be conscious of that point. We've been very conscious when we opened our own stores as well. And we will have the same methodology for our partners as well.
Again, coming back on, because you present both online and offline omni-channel presence. Is there any kind of differentiated offering for an exclusive store, so to say, which is not available in maybe general trade or other formats that you do? Or it could be, anything which is launched new comes first at the outlet and maybe, after a certain time it goes. So any differentiated offering that you have for an exclusive store in terms of your product service? I understand you said there are certain services which are available at the stores, but how about the product offering?
So there are very few products, I'll be honest, because one of the challenges with products differentiation is that, cosmetics, when we buy cosmetics, there is a minimum order quantity. So if I take you to the back end of the things, there is an MBQ, there's an MOQ for every SKU. And it is not viable not to just the exclusive stores to get it, because the MOQs don't make sense. So the brand does extend them to other, distribution channels. Having said that, there are a few products, especially like our, our accessories, our makeup brushes, which are premium brushes, which we only have at the stores. And similar to these, there are a few products which we have, but primarily the major selection is pretty much the same across all distribution channels. With respect to offers, at times the malls are running certain exclusive offers, so we always support the malls. Suppose there are a lot of malls, especially in the West, they go on Flat 50 and they're having Black Friday sales or anything that the mall is doing specially. We always participate and try to back them with any special offer. So that, in fact, it is not even with respect to an EBO or in any other distribution channel, but it is also that particular mall is having a special offer. So we back that particular outlet, especially to support the mall cause of doing some bigger activations in their own malls and stuff. So yeah.
So Kanika, one last question while we have much more to be discussed, and we can do that maybe discussion which can be one-on-one. I was also going to the website. You're also doing online sales through your own website, and there are a lot of promotions on the website. There's some codes also mentioned on the website. Yeah. So will the franchisee also get a benefit of any sale which is happening online, or it is done directly by the company? One, and any code. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the second is, I saw some promos on your website and certain codes that were mentioned on the website. So these codes are limited only to people who shop online, or somebody can go to the outlet also and get this code, as in, he can benefit from the promotion by.
So some of the offers running on website are exclusive to the website. So I don't think we would interfere with that. But there are possibilities that if someone is buying on website and wants to collect it from the store, I think those kind of possibilities are there. But no, if the offer is exclusive to the website, no, you cannot get it at the store. The store has their own offers, and which are placed at the store level for the consumer to see, and of course shared by the BA with whatever offers they're running. Website mostly has similar offers, but there are a few exclusive offers which are given to the website as
well. All right. Helpful. Kanika, what we can do, because I have a lot of people who are also asking, maybe they want to reach out to you, and if we can maybe decide a date, which can be sometime in the coming week, where we can bring in some prospective franchisees on a call with you, and somebody in Delhi, because your team is based out of Delhi, if there's a meeting which can be aligned, great, as we'll be more than glad to bring them either on a Zoom call or maybe telephonic call with you. So any dates that you think we can do it in the coming week, and we'll take maybe the next 3 or 4 days to filter the locations and where the interest is being received by us.
So we could do it second half, Sonia, maybe tomorrow, or maybe next week, Monday.
Monday is a good. Monday is
Yeah.
so we will have enough time to filter
Yeah.
down all the leads, qualify them, and bring it to you.
Yeah. Because actually Friday I'm out of town, so that's why I said Monday. And by then we'll have enough. I think you could have enough leads generated by then, and then we can look at it, one by
Absolutely.
one.
Great. And Kanika, before we finally sign off, any last message that you want to give to the audience who's joined in today? We also have a lot of people hearing live on Facebook also.
What I'd like to say is that rest assured that if you partner with us, you will succeed, because if we've come this long journey, and we are a profitable model, we will make sure that our franchisees also have a success in this with us, and their success is our success. So on that note, I would just encourage them to come forward, and we will have a winning formula for sure.
Thank you so much, Kanika and Tushar. And thanks for all of you, because while you have tried and replied on your Q&A, we've also put a hotline number in the chat box. Kindly make a note of that. You can reach on this number, WhatsApp or call on this number. We'll take time from today till Friday to receive your queries and interests. And Monday onwards, we'll start aligning. I think Monday, the entire day, we would have the slots available, and we can confirm that to you, Kanika, by Saturday. So we'll block maybe 30-minute slot with each member or a prospective franchisee who's keen to discuss. And with this, Tushar, any message that you want to give to the audience? We've not heard from you so much.
So I think it's an open ground as of now. Anybody who is interested, keen, we are there for them. The partnership, as Kanika said, that we have come so long from last 14, 15 years. The brand has been doing fantastically well in the country, and it's the most popular brand. It got disconnected. So any of the malls, any high street, metro city, tier 2, smaller towns. So yes, we are good to go. Any questions, any queries, we are available 24/7, anytime.
Okay. Thank you so much. And over to you, Archana, for your final remarks.
Thank you so much, Kanika. Thank you so much, Tushar, for joining in the kind of the effort and the preparation you guys did for this webinar. Thank you so much for that. We would like to thank Gaurav
Thank you,
and
Archana.
Sonia, ma'am. Last but not the least, all the dear participants who have joined us today, if you want to block your slot for Discovery Day with team of Color Bar, please do connect with us at our business hotline number, which is 97176-83838. We request you to share your detailed profile, your property location details, as well as your suggestions and feedback at the same business hotline number. You can connect with Franchise India team at our different social handles, information on your screen. You want to rewatch this particular webinar and all the previously done webinars submit, please go to Facebook page of Franchise India Brands Limited, go under video section. You can watch all of them, and you can connect with management team of Franchise India at their respective LinkedIn IDs. Tomorrow, we are inviting you for another great episode of Under Business Opportunity Over webinar series, where the team of Estate Market will come and talk about their brand. So please do not miss this chance. Join us tomorrow to understand their financials and franchise model. Thank you so much once again for joining in today. Have a great day ahead. Keep a very good care of your health and your safety. Thank you so much. Thanks, Kanika.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Archana.
Thanks.
Thank you.